The picturesque region of Lower Silesia has priceless relics of the past in abundance. Its countless old towns, palaces, castles and churches all speak of its wealth of history. One of the most fascinating places, and at the same time its most significant industrial monument, is the Duszniki-Zdroj paper mill, situated in Kłodzko's land. Papermaking in Lower Silesia has a rich tradition reaching back to the end of the Middle Ages. The first paper to be made in the region came from Wrocław and was produced before 1490. Nearly 100 mills were built across Silesia, with the craft reaching its height around the year 1800. Today, the one remaining example of the now past glories of this trade is the paper mill in Duszniki-Zdroj. The origins of papermaking in Duszniki go back to the 1560s. However, the first mill was destroyed by fire at the beginning of the 17th century. A new building was raised on the site in 1605. At the time, paper provided a great income. To a large extent, this was earmarked for the further embellishment of the mill. On the western side, the shingled gable roof was topped with a decorative Baroque volute. The ornamentation over the windows features plant motifs. A bridge, separated into two halves by a unique tower-shaped entry pavilion, leads to the main building. In the mill's interior, the summer rooms were adorned with polychromatic genre paintings. As far back as the 17th century, the building was one of Lower Silesia's most beautiful industrial structures. Today, the magnetism of the Duszniki paper mill's rich and aesthetic qualities draws not only lovers of ancient architecture, but also those with an interest in the glorious past of this Lower Silesian region. The well-preserved production areas and the spacious drying room, with its original equipment for the transportation of wet paper and drying racks, win the building its place among Poland's most important industrial monuments. The Museum of Papermaking was opened in this historic building in 1968. 3 years later, papermaking demonstrations were launched and went on to become a major attraction for thousands of tourists. The building currently comes under the auspices of the Office of the Marshal of the Lower Silesian Voivodeship. Over the years, the museum has collected thousands of artifacts connected with the history of paper. Among the most prized of these is an extensive collection of watermarked and filigreed sheets of paper made in Poland during the past 5 centuries. This is complemented by original moulding frames used for centuries as the main tool in papermaking. Of great and extraordinary value is the collection of early 20th century apparatus for measuring the properties of paper, including its thickness, weight, and resistance to tearing. The museum also houses numerous machines for processing the raw materials into paper-making stock and for manufacturing various products, such as envelopes, exercise books, or books. The exhibition takes visitors on a journey through the history of paper, illustrated by original European and Asian sheets created in the 19th and 20th centuries. The exhibition of the techniques and technologies of papermaking uses original equipment and models of machines to present the methods by which paper has been made over the course of the last 200 years. From there, visitors can move on to the laboratory where the paper is tested, for instance, for its suitability for use in the production of banknotes. Seeing the Duszniki Museum's exhibition may well convince guests of the many uses to which paper can be put. Indeed, it's used not merely for writing, printing, and packaging a variety of products, but also in the construction industry and the manufacture of furniture, kitchenware, and even ornaments. The heart of the museum is the workshop, where the ancient art of papermaking is revealed. It is here that a wire mesh screen is dipped into the stuff made from cellulose fibre. This is then formed into a sheet. Once the water has been pressed out and the sheet has dried, what emerges is a memento of the Duszniki paper mill in one of many forms of stationery: notepads, souvenir cards, greetings cards, or a gift box. Another beguiling element to beguile is the chance for visitors to make their own sheet of paper. After seeing the exhibition, everyone is welcome to test their skills by creating their own unique sheet of paper using the ancient technique, or to produce a sheet containing the impression of their own handprint. It's a highly individual way to commemorate the time they spent in the beautiful paper mill. Recently, paper has become an object of interest to artists, many of whom use it to create works of art. The paper mill works together with artists from all over the world, giving them historical handmade paper for the creation of artistic pieces, supplying them with raw materials for their work, and arranging exhibitions of art created from paper. An undoubted attraction of the museum is the garden of fibrous plants used for papermaking in various countries. In the summer, it offers a multicolored display of blooms, while autumn brings the gold of flax and stately mulberries, yucca, and maples. The Duszniki Museum's mission is to preserve and spread knowledge of the history of paper and its role in the development of culture and in everyday life, and not only by exhibitions and educational activities, but also through the annual Paper Festival held every July. As well as discovering the history of papermaking, visitors to the festival can make their own paper by hand, colour it using a variety of methods, print by means of an ancient technique, and even create their own work of art. The celebration has become a magnet, attracting countless creative artists from the region, and not only those working with paper. Decorative crafts, woodworking, basket work, glass work, and even metal work are all presented by highly skilled craftspeople. The Duszniki paper mill is a magical place, drawing tens of thousands of visitors every year. Its attractions are aimed not only at children and young people, but also at adults. Everyone is welcome to take part in the activities and uncover the artist within them. Having seen the interest that both this priceless building and the art of papermaking arouse, the museum is working to ensure the widest possible access to everything it has to offer, adapting new spaces for visitors and eliminating architectural barriers. Today, Duszniki's beautifully restored paper mill is one of Lower Silesia's most significant architectural treasures. The museum housed within its walls presents the region's glorious industrial tradition and offers visitors an unforgettable experience. Papermaking, once the source of the Duszniki paper mill's wealth, is today a perfect way of having fun, and one that simply mustn't be missed when taking a trip through Lower Silesia.